So I'm going to give everyone the entire title of the book, Artful AI in Writing Instruction, a human-centered approach to using artificial intelligence in grades 6 to 12. Now, somebody's going to, see that title, think, and, listen to this podcast and think, hey, this is only for, English teachers from like middle school to high school. But I think, writing is in everything. And I know you had mentioned that before. Why could any teacher, no matter your subject, why would this book actually benefit them?
Yeah, there are. One thing I've learned is that a lot of people, even working in education, don't consider themselves strong writers.
Mhm.
And as someone who's always prided myself on that skill and developed it and loved it my whole life, I understood in many, many years of teaching that not every human feels that way. But I think only since AI has come into the picture have I understood that, like, oh, wow, lots of college graduates feel that way. Lots of people in education feel that way as well. So if I take this back to how would I help maybe someone who loves teaching, but they're teaching history and they don't love teaching
Right.
writing, I think there's examples in the book that would speak to a history teacher or a science teacher. But what I think is most important is there's principles that they can apply. Things like, how can this help when a student and a teacher are sitting down with a piece of writing and trying to figure out how to best express something and they can't quite come up with the right words? How do we do it without letting AI take over the task? How do I make sure that my students aren't only brainstorming, or let me put it this way, are not subletting their brainstorming to AI as an art teacher, as a science teacher. So I think that those principles for each step of the writing process, it's the way the book's organized, are really going to be helpful because writing assignments show up in every class. And the other thing that I hope it will push teachers who are not teachers of English is to remember how much the process matters. In other subject areas, there may be a habit to only value the finished product, and AI can quickly get to a finished product that sounds pretty decent and, approximates how a human student would sound. So what are we going to do in all the subject areas to make sure we're seeing the process happen? We're valuing the messy stuff because that's how we're going to make sure it's human. That's how we're going to make sure the learning's happening,
Right.
and that's how they'll grow as writers.
Yeah, I started my blog. It's like, does anyone even talk about blogging anymore? It's just like, even it's like a weird word to say, but I started, I think in 2008 or 2009. I've been writing for 17 years. And I started it solely for the purpose of really understanding how students could leverage it, what that would look like to create a digital portfolio. And when I went through the process, I'm like, this is really an interesting way. And it's like bringing out ideas in me. And one of the things that I have really appreciated through the process is I don't write only to share my learning. It's like a portion of it I write to learn, to
Yeah.
wrestle with ideas. So that's something you can apply to any class. So I know this is going to be really beneficial to, does not matter if you're an English teacher or not, and does not matter the grade you teach. As you suggested, it's really, you focusing on your own learning so you can better help kids through this process as well. So